morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you for joining us on Talk to Them. I am your host, Kennitha Wade.
And I'm your other host, Renauda Mitchell.
We have a guest today. You want to share your name?
Oh, my name is Debbie Wooten, and I am a humor nurse, as well as a motivational speaker and a actress.
Okay.
I like that humor nurse. I like that.
Definitely. We'll start off with our check-in.
How was your week?
It's been good. I came back from my trip. The conference was amazing. And I felt like every time I go out of town, it's always something that happens. And there wasn't really a whole lot of hiccups at home this time. G had the kids, and but when I came back, my daughter was, I don't know what my daughter was doing while I was gone, but when I came back, she had snuck out, and so that was a whole thing. And I'm pretty sure she was sneaking out while I was out of town because she didn't have two sets of eyes on her. So anyway, it's just been kind of dealing with that. She's 14, going on 30, and she want to be grown and she want to have all this freedom, but she's one of those kids that she has a hard time controlling her impulses. Whatever, comes over her to do, she just does it, regardless if it's right or wrong. And so it's been years of dealing with that and trying to get her to be a little more responsible for her actions and really think about them before she just acts on whatever her impulses are. So I feel like we've had a lot of conversations around that this week at home and just adjusting to being back,
Yeah. My week was, it was heavy. I had one of my participants lost her brother, and he has some milestones that she was accomplishing, which I was worried about losing her brother, affecting that. And then, getting her situated. It was just a heavy, workload week, but we ended it in paint and sip yesterday, and my friend Squirrel came and did some video and took some pictures of everybody before and after and during the whole process. So hopefully that'll help with my marketing and whatnot. And I mean, that was pretty much the week. I didn't do anything extra really. The week was so emotionally heavy that I kind of just, when it was time to go home, was, hey, cook, clean, do whatever you got to do real quick, go to bed. And so I had energy for yesterday. And then that was pretty much my week. And then we get to today. It's Kennitha's birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, we weren't originally podcasting, and then she was like,
yes, we were.
No, we were not.
We've been talking about this.
Schedule.
I never said I didn't want to podcast on my birthday. It's Sunday. We podcast every Sunday. I don't care what today is.
Okay. So, happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
Yeah, and that's
You're at the age that was denied to many people.
True.
That's special. I'm at the age too like that. My birthday's coming up.
When's your birthday?
Day after Valentine's Day. I'm the residue of love.
Okay.
I have 4 kids born 9.5 months after my birthday because my husband was a cheap shot. He want to give me both presents in one good shot.
Okay.
Don't you want to blow out this candle? No, I don't want to blow out this candle again. I said, can I just get a cake and card like everybody else? These 9-month, 18-year presents is killing me. I still think I'm going to get pregnant next month. I don't even have a uterus. I got my uterus. I took it to a taxidermist and had it stuffed and laminated and put on a stick.
Oh, my God.
At home. It's on the fireplace. So I could watch it, And last week, I thought I saw it twitch. I stabbed it. Now I got a knife sticking out of it. I'm so damn scared of that thing. And I'm still scared I might get pregnant next month.
Okay, then.
Okay. So, well, I'm excited. I'll be 69, my favorite number and position.
Okay.
And so I'm going to be 69 for a whole year, and then I turn the big 70. But so this is my last 60, sexy 60s.
Okay.
And so
how do you like to celebrate your birthday? I mean, besides 18-year long gifts.
Well, getting as many licks as I can get in. Birthday licks is good at my age.
Okay.
No more blowing out the candles. Got a headache. And but I have a show in Tacoma, Washington
Okay.
on my birthday. So I have a birthday comedy show in Tacoma, Washington. You can see on my Facebook where it's going to be and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
So my week was real good.
Mm-hmm.
I lived through it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And my most exciting thing this week was I took my cats
Uh-huh.
to get shaved.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're all like now. I got so tired of eating cat fur. I had all his fur cut off. He looked like a dog now
Okay.
with pointy ears.
Okay.
He just sounds like a cat, but he looks like a dog.
Okay.
That is funny.
And that was it.
That's what Renauda need.
I do not need a hairless cat. I just don't, or a shaped down cat. I don't need a cat.
I think your daughter needs a cat. Her daughter asked for a cat. She asked for a cat all the
My daughter
time.
is allergic.
But
She has
she's
really
allergic.
bad allergies.
They got
And then
medicine
she
for
got
allergies.
asthma.
I got asthma too. I'm allergic
And
to
the-
cats, but I got 2 cats.
And that's going to be my daughter when she get older, just jacked up with 2 cats because every time we're around one, she be sitting there acting like she not itching. And then she be sitting there acting like she can breathe. And I looking at her and I'm like, you're struggling. Like, you can't be around animals like that.
Oh,
But my baby loves animals. And
She
she
does.
just
what
can't.
about dogs?
Same thing with dogs. It's just pets.
Well, that's
Anything
going to
with
really
any
pay
kind of
off.
fur.
Her being allergic to dogs, so she won't make the wrong decision when she pick
Right.
a man.
Right.
So she's going to just break out. No, this is
Yep.
a dog.
Sorry, you make me
I
itch.
wish I would have been allergic to dogs.
Man.
You know, but
I
I
am
wasn't.
allergic and I still messed up somehow.
Well, I wasn't allergic to dogs. In fact, they just kind of magnetized to me.
Okay.
You know, they find me in the dark.
Mhm.
They just come out of nowhere.
They do, and I was like weighing 400 pounds. But they, you know, dogs, they love a bone with meat on it. You know,
Mhm.
so they always took me home.
No.
The skinny ones, they just bury them. But
Okay then. All right, what
Yeah.
we gonna get into talking about today? We're gonna talk about Miss Debbie here.
Mhm.
We got some topics to talk about that I thought were definitely good. We're gonna talk about polio, living with polio, your experience with that, and you mentioned the new administration and their stance on the polio
yes,
vaccine.
Kennedy, who is now the medical Grand Cuba, he is going to be. They're going to be getting rid of a lot of vaccines that's
Mhm.
been mandatory in public schools. Well, they're getting rid of the public schools too. So
Mhm.
these viruses that they think they're unnecessary to get, like, polio is a virus like COVID,
Mhm.
but it don't affect your lungs. It affects your brain.
Mm.
It slows down the signals in your brain that makes your arms move, your
Mhm.
legs move, your
Mhm.
lungs breathe, the ability to pick the right man,
Mhm.
things like that.
Okay.
And so a lot of women found that they had polio. They didn't even know that was
Okay.
polio. Why they
Mhm.
chose the wrong man. But anyway, but that vaccine did more good. And when that vaccine came out, wasn't nobody arguing about getting the vaccine.
Mhm.
They just got in line and got the shot or the sugar cube.
Mhm.
And polio is so much more highly contagious than COVID was.
Mm.
It can rain.
Mhm.
If the water or the rain can fall on you and you can get polio,
Mm.
it can you can swim in water. They
Mhm.
had to close down the swimming pools.
Mm.
Mm.
You could touch something, leave the virus there, and somebody come behind. You could have virus on your hands and touch somebody else, give them polio, and you don't even get it.
Mm.
And polio is very sneaky. It comes on like a little slight cold, a
Mm.
slight fever. And it stays in your body 2 weeks. But while it's in your body, it's affecting all kind of nerve damage in your spinal column and your brain.
Mm.
And at the end of 2 weeks, you can see the damage. And a lot of times, it stops you from breathing. So
Mm.
I was in an iron lung when I was 5 months old when I contracted polio.
Wow.
In Chicago, it's just like COVID. The last people to get the shots was the ghettos, the black
Mhm.
communities. So there's a big population of polio victims in Chicago that's my age.
Mm.
After that, a severe drop. That's when we got the vaccine. But
Mhm.
before that, was a lot of polio survivors in Chicago, in
Wow.
big cities. And so they made polio schools
Mhm.
for us. There was so many of us.
Wow.
And so I never went to a normal school. They said that we weren't normal and you guys were. And then I grew up and found out ain't none of y'all normal. And it's nothing.
What is normal?
I know.
Nobody
Well, I
normal.
have not met a normal person yet,
No.
but they told me I wasn't normal. Well, thank you. I'm glad I'm not. But I'm concerned about that, because I do have a big family, and my children all got their polio vaccines, and polio isn't hereditary.
Okay.
It's not hereditary.
Yeah.
It is a very serious virus. And yes, there are some cases of children who received the polio vaccine and they got polio because you're actually giving you some polio in you, so you can be immune to it. And so, and they got polio, but that was very rare. They did come out with a big batch of spoiled, I would say, contaminated polio vaccines, and the United States sent it to Africa. Oh, here's some polio vaccines for you. And so that's why polio is still very prevalent in other countries, is because they're still recovering from all the bad polio vaccines they had gotten from the United States.
Wow. I had no idea, really.
Me either. I think a lot of people misunderstand how polio happens, how you get it. I think even though the information is there, I think a lot of people just hear it and assume that's something like you're born with a birth defect or something like that, and that's not
right. Education.
It at all.
That's why we're in the boat with the government as we are now, because of lack of knowledge and education. And I'm so glad you ladies have this show that you can educate people who you living in a bubble.
Right.
And I appreciate you being out here and having me come on today and give my little 2 cents to the world.
Yeah.
I always watch you on your comedy shows.
Yeah.
And I just love listening to you talk. You have me cracking up every time.
Every time.
Yeah. There's never a time that you've been on the stage that you didn't have me cracking up, which I appreciate. Because I think we all need a little humor in our life for sure.
Absolutely. It's in the Bible. Laughter do a heart good like a medicine. And so I am a humor nurse because if I'm helping you heal, helping you step back from your challenges, especially when you were talking about your teenage daughter. I raised 5 14-year-olds. I'm a professional 14-year-old child raiser, male and females. And so there's 5 species. I've had all 5 species of 14-year-olds. I can help you with that. I can. A tree is judged by the fruit it bears. And that keeps me on the straight and narrow when I was raising my children. But I came a long way because I was born in Chicago, and my mother suffered with alcoholism, and my father was there, but he was Don Juan, and so it made my mother drink more. So in my family, with her drinking all the time, and I was the oldest of 7 children, I didn't have time to have polio because I had to watch after the other children, take the cigarette out of my mother's hand when she passed out drunk. I had to watch the house, and my mother didn't really care about me having polio either. She would be like, "Baby, how your legs feel?" She holding her drink in one hand, her cigarette. "How your legs feel?" And I said, "They hurt." She said, "How your arms feel?" I said, "They feel good." She said, "Hold his iron and them damn clothes in that basket."
Okay.
That's what my mama said.
Okay.
She propped my wheelchair up against that sink, wash them dishes, throw that baby on my lap, change that baby's diaper, and put this clean T-shirt on. But that's what I had to do at 7, 8 years old with polio. So I didn't have time to really absorb this disability that I had.
Yeah.
Except when I was in school. But I had all my girlfriends had polio. So I went to have a sleepover with one of my girlfriends who had polio too. And at her house, she didn't get no whoopings like I did. She didn't get cussed out. She didn't have to wash dishes, change no baby diapers and nothing. Her family just petted her up and they carried her around the house. And I was like, what kind of polio she got? She got the nice polio. I got the whoop your ass polio. I didn't know it came in different kinds.
Wow.
But in the long run, my mother made me tough.
Yes.
And so my girlfriend never had kids, never married, never moved out of her mother's house.
Yeah, okay.
And she's 70 years old.
She
her mother
didn't live
dead.
life.
She's still in the house.
Yeah.
She never ventured out.
Yeah.
My mother made me tough. Because I guess she knew that she was going to be dead by the time my baby sister was 12 and leave me 5 siblings when I'm 19 years old.
Okay.
And I had to raise them with my 3 kids and my husband. So she made me tough, and I found a way to get things done.
Yeah.
She made you able to take care of yourself.
And everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I had to do a lot of that early in my life. So polio was on the back burner.
Yeah. I mean, and things could have came out differently. Like I know when I worked at the assisted living place, it was like you only do the things that people can't do for themselves, because if you do more than what they can't do for themselves, then they'll get used to you doing it, and they won't exercise that ability to do so.
Absolutely.
And you lose your independence with that. So her having you do the dishes, do this, do that, do stuff that your friend didn't learn how to do, you're able to live a full life instead of being like, okay, I can't do this, I'm limited to this, I can't, if your mom was doing everything for you like her family was.
Yes, exactly. But my mother had lots of friends that drank and smoked cigarettes, and so I got to see a real kind of a negative environment as well. This is how you problem solve, is to get drunk, So that was my environment. But in school, we have our little programs. And my mother didn't drive; she was real thin, and but at our school, we the same mothers. Remember when you were little, and the same mamas would come to school for everything. Remember those mamas? Well, at our polio school, we had a mama like that too.
Okay.
And she had polio, just like her little girl was my best friend.
Okay.
But this polio lady, she could drive a car, and she was big and heavy set, and she wore big flower dresses, and her hair was always pretty, and she smelled of Avon and fried chicken.
Okay.
Ooh, I used to love her. And I would look at her, and I would just, and my mama never came to nothing. And so Miss Butler would be sitting in the audience, smiling at us, and we'd be on the stage getting ready to sing our little songs, wheelchairs in front, crutches behind, and walkers in the back, And I look out there, I said, my mama don't never come to nothing. I said, I wish Miss Butler was my mama. When I grow up, I want to be a mama just like Miss Butler. So I went home and I prayed to God. I said, dear God, when I grow up, I want to be a big fat mother that can drive a car. And guess what happened? Yes. I can't even lose 10 pounds. You asked for this. I was 7. Come on.
Be careful what you ask for.
Man.
Right. But what I saw in Miss Butler was soberness.
Yes.
I saw a woman who took care of herself, that knew how to smile and laugh and be happy. All the things that alcoholism stole from my mother.
Yes.
So without Miss Butler saying anything, she always treated me very nice. She treated my mother very nice. When I would go spend the night and she'd take me back home, she always, no matter what condition my mother was in, she always was respectful and nice to my mother.
Yes.
She never was condescending. And so without Miss Butler doing anything out of her normal way of how she act, she put me on a new path of how to be a mom, how to grow up. That goes to show you that each one of us have that life-changing power to change another person's life just by the way we act in your normal life. You have the power to make mini-me's. It's up to you, because somebody, maybe a child, might be a student, a co-worker, they're watching you. And one day they're going to grow up or mature and be just like you. I look a little scared.
I have an
No,
example
I was
like
just
that.
listening. That was powerful.
Yeah, when
Like,
I was
a lot of
power
power that we are creating mini-me's. Miss Butler stopped me from another generational of alcoholic, depressed, angry women. I saw another way to live.
Yeah.
Just by her behavior.
Yep. Just being involved and doing the things and getting up every day and taking care of herself.
She didn't know she changed my life,
Yeah.
which had a domino effect on how I raise my children and how they behave.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's a lot of power that we have that we don't even take advantage of. I took advantage of it. I know that kids watch everything mama do.
Yeah.
I knew that early in life because when I had babies, I didn't know I could have babies. They had told my mother and father I couldn't have it. I couldn't birth my own children.
Okay.
They said I had polio, and then they found that spinal bifida as well, and I have scoliosis. and I wouldn't be able to carry a baby. They told my parents this.
Mm-hmm.
But they kept it a secret. They didn't tell me I couldn't have any kids after my third baby.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
I can't have no kids. That's when I first learned you can do a lot when you don't know you can't do it.
Yes.
Right.
That word can't kills people and dreams.
Yes. Yeah.
Can't is the number one reason why we have suicide.
Mm-hmm.
People are surrounded by a bunch of can'ts and cannot see a way to get out of it.
Yeah.
There's no cans.
Mm-hmm.
So in life, I started looking for those cans. Yes, they were far and few between, but I was searching for cans.
Mm-hmm.
I knew a lot about can'ts. I don't want nothing to do with that family.
Right.
I want to see the cans.
Right.
And so that started early. I was 7 years old. Even though I had polio and disabled since I was 5 months old, I didn't find out I was black till I was 7
Okay.
because I went to a polio school, a polio institution. And so I was isolated on what was happening in the bigger world.
Mm-hmm.
So I came home from school one day, and I was sitting home with my mama, and a news bulletin flashed on the television. This was 1963,
Mm-hmm.
and they had a big civil rights march down south, and it was showing the black people getting hosed up against the wall. We've all seen the old footage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it just had happened earlier that day,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking at TV, and then my mother was getting upset about it, and I looked at her, and then I noticed she was dark like the people on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
I had never noticed my mother had a skin color before.
Okay.
So I went up to her and I put my arm around her. I said, Mama, I feel so sorry for you people. I'm glad I ain't black. My mama said, baby, I'm your mama. You just another shade of brown. Baby, I'm black. You black too. I said, I got scared. I said, no, I'm not. I'm not black. I'm polio. And Roosevelt is a leader of our people. I thought President Roosevelt was our leader. My self-esteem was up. I mean, I thought I could be the president of the United States with polio.
Right.
She said, baby, we can't even vote. What you talking about?
Okay.
Then she went on to beat me up with that 4-letter word that kills, paralyzes people from living
That can't.
a successful life. Can't.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, baby. We can't vote. We can't live in these neighborhoods. We can't go to these schools. We can't work on these jobs.
Mm-hmm.
All these can'ts. Now, I already found out I can't go to school with the normal, so-called normal people. I can't walk like the normal kids.
Mhm.
Now I got a whole new line of can'ts.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of can'ts for a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
But I finally met a can
Mhm.
when I turned 10 years old. You know who that was?
Who was that?
Dr. Martin Luther King.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, he came to the park in Chicago. And we were there, and I don't care how dysfunctional most families are. When holidays come, we get together because everybody want to eat. You know,
Mhm.
so I don't care what's happening. Everybody want to eat
Mm-hmm.
on a holiday.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
everybody. So we was at the park, and we saw a crowd gathering. And my daddy said, "I think that's Dr. King." My daddy was a good-looking man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He was biracial,
Mm-hmm.
nice red mustache, a nice silky, goatee
Mhm.
and wavy hair. And he always would tell me, Debbie, baby, you look just like my sister. Boy, you look like your auntie Maggie. You look just like her. And I was proud of that because my daddy was a good-looking man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I was happy about that
Mm-hmm.
until I saw my auntie.
Oh.
And that mustache and goatee didn't look as good on her.
Oh my God.
So every time these little hairs grow on my cheek, I'm turning into my auntie. Oh my God, plucking them out. Trying to fight my auntie look. Anyway, I got distracted. Okay, but we saw, my daddy saw Dr. King. He said, Debbie, let's go over there, meet Dr. King. And there was a little soapbox, some boxes over there, and and Dr. King had a white short sleeve shirt on. And he was shaking hands, and the crowd, all of a sudden, people in the park was noticing it was Dr. King.
Mm-hmm.
And people started running. And my daddy grabbed me by the arm, and he just started running and dragging me in my braces right behind him.
Okay,
like
okay.
a linebacker going through the crowd.
Uh-huh.
He got right up there in front of Dr. King
Uh-huh.
and just broke in and said, hello, Dr. King, I'm J.W. Bingham, and this is my little girl, Debbie. And then Dr. King stopped everything he was doing. And for a few brief seconds, he looked right at me,
Mm-hmm.
and he took my hand,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, how you doing, baby?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm fine, Dr. King. I just started washing my hand again last year.
Okay.
Okay, it was that special. Okay, it was that special,
Yeah.
But after that, Dr. King became such an encouragement, a fighter. He put the fight in me to stand up for my rights. And I remember in part of his speech, he said, I want my children to be known by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. I even added on to it, or their physical ability, that you give me a chance to show you who I am.
Right.
And don't judge me by this package.
Yeah.
And so it gave me the power to fight for disabled rights that we didn't have in our handicapped school. We still was regular kids. We still had bullies. We had a bully. He was a paraplegic.
Okay.
He was so bad. He would run over people's legs and stuff. He was bad as hell.
What?
Couldn't move nothing but his hand on the remote control. It had everybody scared of him. And one day I slapped the hell out of him. I became the school hero. Well, I got punishment, but still. I slapped him. He called me a fat pig or something. I don't know. I slapped him. I got in all kind of trouble because everybody thought, poor Michael, and I hit him, and he can't even lift his arms up to fight me, but he was the devil.
Well, he could run people over with his wheelchair.
Right. That's assault.
And he fell out. Oh, crying. And like I killed him. So I learned something from Michael Irvin.
Okay.
So one day I was at home. We was in my alley. We was playing a parade, me and my brothers and sisters. It was marching, and I was at the end of the parade because I walked too slow to keep up with the rest of the parade. But these boys came around, about 3 boys, some teenage boys on bikes, and they had whips, and they would start whipping everybody, swinging the whips and hitting the ground with them, and everybody broke out and ran, including my brothers, and left me. So they came back around and circled me and said, "Oh, you can't run. You cripple, huh?" And I said, "You better leave me alone." And so they said, "What you gonna do?" And so I picked up a rock. I said, "I'm gonna throw this rock at you if you don't leave me alone." So he took the whip and hit me across my legs, and I took the brick and threw it. And then he really started whipping my legs. I had all this leather braces on, and between me and you, I didn't feel none of the licks. But when I got up to my house, to my mama's house, I fell out. I fell out like he killed me. I learned that from Michael Irvin.
Right.
And the neighborhood went after that boy.
Okay.
And he got in all kinds of trouble. He got his ass beat by several neighbors.
Okay.
As he should.
I felt kind of bad, but that Michael Irvin trick worked.
Hey, and he taught you
You
something.
can learn a lot from you can learn something from everybody. Everybody got
Yes.
something that can teach you.
Absolutely.
So Michael Irvin taught me, well, you could take this disability and
turn
Use
it
it
up.
to your advantage.
Yeah. So that was, I didn't miss anything coming up as a kid. I was in everything, but when I met Dr. King, he put the warrior fight in me. And so in our high school, we didn't even have curtains in the girls' bathroom because they said, well, you're handicapped and the nurses' aides have to see you in case you need help. And
It was just open stalls.
yeah, it was just all open stalls. Meanwhile, you could see right into stalls from outside the boys who are disabled also, but ain't nothing wrong with their sex drive. They walking by the bathroom, peeking in. So we had to have a guard stand outside the bathroom to chase the boys away.
Wow.
Right.
And so we had to have a lunchroom strike and get our parents to write letters to say, can you put some curtains up in the bathroom?
Yeah.
So we had to fight for that.
Mm.
We had to fight to have driver's ed. We wanted to drive a car.
Right.
So finally they gave in and let us have driver's ed for us. But on our car, it said, student physically handicapped driver. We had more clout than ambulance. Everybody was pulling over. That's not normal driving conditions, My car is not going to have this on it,
Right.
We've come a long way with disability rights, and I'm afraid that some of my ADA might get messed over too with everything else that they're trying to cut.
Mm-hmm.
We got a long way to go. But we've come a long way. We have ramps, elevators. These are things that stopped me from going to a regular high school. There was no ramps, no elevators.
Yeah.
So I had to go to the handicapped school. They weren't equipped to handle me, to handle people like me who need extra help.
Now most schools are equipped with that.
Right. And I was a gifted child.
Yeah.
I was in the 3rd grade, and they gave me a test and put me in the 5th grade. I've skipped over. So there's no place for a Black, poor, handicapped child in the public school system. Okay, so then they gave me a test in the 6th grade, and then they put me in the 8th grade. So I'm like 11 and a half in the 8th grade. But I was a big girl, 5'8", 225 pounds, so I looked like a football player. But I was big girl, but I was the youngest one. And my mother was very brown skinned and petite. 110 pounds soaking wet. And she would introduce me. This is my daughter, Debbie. And said, that big old yellow thing yours? Why I got to be all that?
Right.
Get my self-esteem nowhere.
Right.
But I had absorbed all this name calling and tease by children who were very cruel.
Yeah.
You know, you tease the white kids tease me because I'm black. The girls are teasing me because I'm fat. The boys are teasing me because I'm fat and crippled. All the kids are teasing me because I'm crippled. So there was no place for me to have a safe place where I just could fit in. Because even with the crippled kids, I was fat and I was black. And, you know, it wasn't the skin color because I had never knew skin colors. Like I said, when I was a little girl and I found out I was black. It was like Eve eating that apple. I went to school the next day, and for the first time,
you started noticing.
I saw black kids with polio. I saw white kids with polio. I had never seen those colors before. Because at our school, it was like, man, you got some new braces. Oh, your wheelchair go fast. That was that shit. That's no damn skin color. Okay? So I think I went to the first universal integrated school. Oh, we went swimming together. It didn't matter because we all had polio. You know, you crippled. That was our thing. You know, we was the original Crips.
Okay.
Fake ass Crips in L.A. Well, I'm really OG, old grandma, but still, you know, I'm a real Crip. I used to tell my boys that. I said, you gonna join the gang? You join your mama's Crip gang, okay? If I ever see you on the corner trying to be in the gang or selling some drugs, I would drive up there with my car and hit you with it and kill you. It's wrong to kill people. I know it's wrong to kill people. So I would take his bloody body and put it back in the car, and I would turn myself into the police because it's wrong to kill people. And I would tell the police officer,
so don't make me do it.
Officer, I just hit and killed my son with the car because he wanted to be a drug dealer and a gangbanger. But I say the taxpayers thousands and thousands of dollars. And it's wrong to kill people, so they're going to take my fingerprints and they're going to take my mug shot and I'll be smiling. They're going to put me in jail because, you know, I got to serve my time. And while I'm in jail, I'll have plenty of time to reflect on how I felt when I hit him with the car. And I'll write it all down in a little notebook, all the details. And then they'll confiscate it. And then Oprah will get a copy of it. And then I'll be on her show. And then I'll write a book about what I did. And then they'll make a movie about what I did. And I'll be rich. And they will be dead. Just dead. And I will tell them every day, I will kill you and get rich.
Okay.
I will pull up to the car, up to the gate. I said, what your mama gonna do if she see you on this corner? Kill us and get rich? I said, that's right. I want to go to the mall right now. Who first? Mama, stop playing. We ain't gonna do that. Yeah. I did that. Every day in Chicago. Yes. I will kill you. Okay. Just remember that. And I would tell them every day. And to the point I didn't even have to say it no more. What I'm gonna do if I see you on the corner? Kill us and get rich. That's right. That's right. So,
don't play.
Yeah, it worked. It worked? Yeah, it worked because the fear of it. It worked. And so I moved. When I was 25, my husband and I parted ways because he was very abusive. Yeah, you can punch Muhammad Ali in the face. That's fine, but I'm not Ali. I don't float like no butterfly, but it did sting like a bee. Okay? I can't have that. So, and I didn't want my children, and I saw my daddy beat my mama. So I thought it was okay, that that's part of life, marriage.
Yeah.
But then when he started abusing my children, his own flesh and blood, I said, now, if I'm going to be a fool, that's one thing. But to let him abuse my children that God made me in charge of, then that's wrong. Because these kids are part of my flesh, our flesh. So I finally had enough nerve to courage to put him out. And when I put him out the last time, he was a Cook County sheriff in Chicago. Good job. I told the police, I said, tell him to leave me some money here for these kids. And the police said, man, these your kids? He said, yeah, they're my kids. He said, man, leave us some money here. He pulled a big wad of money, peeled off the top bills, a $20 bill, flicked it in my face and said, bitch, that's the most you'll ever have. Isn't that something to tell your wife that had your children?
Right.
What a thing to leave her with. Knowing if I don't have nothing, your kids don't have nothing. But I took that $20 bill. Let me tell you what I did with that $20 bill. He left me in our apartment building the back porch was condemned. I got it fixed back up. My neighbor helped me. We got the wood. We fixed it back up, got it back up to regulations. I started making dolls. I made my kids were so poor, we didn't have toys. So I started making toys. So I made Cabbage Patch dolls. I went to Xavier's Cabbage Patch College and learned how to sculpture dolls. Okay. And I made Cabbage Patch dolls for income. And my Cabbage Patch dolls were really special because they were anatomically correct. And my boys were circumcised. And so I still had the prototype from my son. I modeled it off of him. Okay. I showed his wife one day. I said, Mama, one day I'm going to find that dick. I'm going to get it from you. God. I'm sorry I said dick. I think
you're fine.
You know, I'm old. I came from the dick-friendly generation. Okay. Back in my day, dick was a good word. Okay. Back in my day, every women look at their babies and name them Dick. Short and wrinkly, let's name them Dick. We named our kids Dick. We had all kind of dicks. We had Black Dick Gregory and Dick Clark and Dick Buckets and Dick Tracy. We had big old Dick in Ocean, Moby Dick. We had a president, Tricky Dick. We even had gay dicks, Dick Van Dyke. We had all kind of dicks. Back in my day, the first book I learned to read in school was called See Dick Come. I couldn't wait to go to school to see what Dick was going to do with James Puff. Okay? So I am a little cold dick pendant. Okay? So, you know, but y'all know you young women, they sitting up here. I wish you could see it. Can y'all see? Can they see
it? They can see it.
Oh, see how blush they look? See how blush they look? You know why they look blush? Because, see, they've been told dick is a bad word. They've taken the dick away from the young women. Yes. Yes, they've replaced it with the penis. You know what they say about a penis? Have you seen the commercials? An unprotected penis kills. Well, I don't mess around with no penises. I get me an old-fashioned dick from the 70s. I'm in the vintage dick. That's what I'm into. Okay, I'm sorry. I just shoved the whole vintage dick right down your throat. I'm sorry. You talked to me then good, though. I'm sorry. Goodness. Okay. All right. That's enough of that. I'm sorry. That was my bad part of me. See, Debbie has different personalities. There's three of me. And I have team meetings. We all have threes. You may not recognize your threes. But I have Debbie. She's 8. She likes to eat. Hi.
Okay.
She lives in the pantry.
Okay.
And then there's Deborah. She got up this morning. Told Deborah she got to get up. Debbie got to get up. Debbie wanted to stay in the bed. Deborah, you got to get up. You have things to do. She's very focused. She pays the bills. She's very mature. She sees no shades of gray. It's black or white, in and on, in and out, hot or cold. That's how she is.
Okay.
And then there's a third one, Frances.
Okay.
Frances is the party girl. She's the one who's still very codependent. She's kind of a hoe. In fact, she's a poly hoe. Okay. That's what she really is. She's a poly hoe.
Okay.
Oh, poly hoe special. Regular, better than a regular hoe. A poly hoe. Once you go poly hoe, fellas, you never go back to a regular hoe.
Okay.
Poly hoes, we you know, hoes, they have good strong leg muscles. So their legs only go so far back. They cock blockers. But poly hoe legs go all the way back. Barbie ain't got nothing on my ass. They go all the way around. That's why I got these braces on. Because if these braces on my legs, they be flying over there. Woo! Like that. You know, so and I have these heavy 10-ton shoes on and everything so I can stay grounded.
Okay.
Now I look like a hoe all day long. Walk around. Woo!
You crack me up.
So you can take the negatives in your life and just how you look at it.
Yeah.
It's just how you look at life. You can be a victim or a victor.
Yes.
You know, I'm not having a pity party. Because bad as I think I had it, there's someone got it twice as bad.
Absolutely.
Or there's always going to be somebody got it twice as good. You know, so I want to be fair to middling. That's what that saying means. Fair to middling all the time. You know, and everything go up, we'll come down. Glue your butt. I'm sitting up here looking at all these perky tits. Look at them. They got tits. These is titties. Take years to get titties. You got to earn titties. But tits, just wake up one day, pop. Mom, what are these? They're tits. Tits create cleavage. They rub up against each other. I love you. I love you too. When they become titties, you'll know it because they hate each other. Get away from me. I hate you. They even live on different floors now.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going under the arm where the shade is at. They are bad. And tits are strong, too. You can put your credit card in your tits. You can put your phone in your tits.
Mm-hmm.
I put my phone in my titties. They drop down to my panties. Catch it, This is too heavy for us. We can't hold these. Can't hold this phone. But one thing about titties, you can multitask with titties. Can't do that with tits because they're too forward thinking. I be at home one night. I was at home and my husband was like coming in the kitchen with his wild-eyed look in his face, and I'm washing dishes, busy. And he said, "Baby, let me kiss them titties." I was like, "I am busy. Here, go in the living room, sit down, bring it back when you finish." That's what I told him. Special Armstrong ain't got nothing on me either. Okay. All right. So, you probably want to know, when will we know, Debbie, when they turn into titties?
When is that?
They'd be like window shades. You roll them up in the morning, them down at night.
Okay.
That's when they're titties. Now, if you get these tattoos, while you young, get a tattoo of a big old juicy tit on each shoulder. I wish I had did that because they've been dropped down. It'd be perfect right now. And that would be sexy. Because the real ones is, whoa, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Yes. Get tattoos that'll benefit you when you get my age. Okay? Don't just get no senseless tattoos. I got my first tattoo. I got back in that day, we had flower power. Got me a little flower on my backside. I'm sitting on it. But over the years, I've seen that tattoo change.
Okay.
Now it's a big old garden. Got a couple of houses in behind it. Overlooking the freeway. It's going across the alley. The other side. Yes.
So you're writing a book, right?
Yes, I am writing a book about my journey. And it's a roller coaster ride. And it's called I'm Not Black, I'm Polio.
Yes.
And what I'm hoping to do, not only just tell my story, but also talk about how racism and prejudice is, we're trained. We're taught that. Babies are born pure love.
Yes.
They don't care what you look like. They don't care who you are. You got my milk, it's on. I love you.
Right.
That's all they care about. Who feeding me?
Right. Simple things.
They love you. And I think that's why a lot of young women, especially African American women, get pregnant so early, because they don't find that love at home, that value, self-value, and a baby will just look at you and worship you. And I think they have these babies young to compensate that self-esteem that they're missing.
I see
That's why it was very, very important for me to let my daughters know how precious they were and how valuable they are. I had them in pageants, Hal Jackson's Talented Teen pageant in the 80s, the 90s, because I wanted them to know that they are beautiful, that they're valued. Because that way they could say no. They don't need a boy to tell them, you pretty. You think I'm pretty? Here, come on, let's go to bed. No. I don't need you to tell me that, because my mama tell me I'm pretty. My uncles tell me I'm pretty. My daddy tell me I'm pretty. I already know that. I don't need you to tell me that.
Right.
And then I also showed my girls how they would look if they get pregnant. I stripped naked for them. And, oh, mama, put your clothes back on. I said, look, you got to come and get it figured out, but you get pregnant, I had done got it. But, I'm old now. I'm working on a new figure called Come Get Some More. Okay. I've lost 210 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, I did for real life. And, I lost all this weight, and I need a skin graft, of course. But I lost all this weight, and I found a hard lump under my breast. And I was devastated. I went to the doctor about it. He told me it was my rib cage. That's a bone? It's supposed to be there? It was weird. I never felt it before. I was shocked. Well, one on each side. I know you little skinny girls do, but I didn't know it. Scared the hell out of me. Got a lot of bones.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that.
She's pregnant. Every time I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna be serious.
Right.
Yeah, it's called the word switch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I told you I was divorced.
Yes.
Pretty young, 25 years old, I was divorced. And then I remarried in 91. And that's when my name became Wooten. And I lost him to suicide because he he had depression problems, but he was able to hide it from me until after we got married. Then I could find out that he had problems, emotional problems from being abused as a child, but he hid them, faked me out, and I wound up marrying him. And because after that, it made me scared to find who I'm going to find next. Because this man fooled me. I mean, he worked at Boeing, he worked at aerospace. He had a job, paid a lot of money. He had his own house. He has good credit. He didn't have any outside kids. He'd never been married. He had a big penis. Everything I needed, know. Okay. And so then found out that he had all these emotional problems. And so it made me so scared that when I dated after he ended his own life, and I had 5 teenagers watching this, and I had to hold my house together.
Yeah.
And so I had no time to have a nervous breakdown. So I've decided to only date men who were patients at the mental hospital. They come with charts.
Okay.
You need a man with instructions.
Right.
After that, because I can't trust my own judgment.
I mean, that makes sense.
Sunday afternoon, how much is that side? Go in the window. I go on Sundays, They didn't bring my to the day room. But he passed away at 95, and then I remarried in 97, and he passed away in 2013, lung cancer. Then I married again in 2016 because Trump became president, and I was scared for my life. So I said, I'm marrying the first white man that says hi to me.
Okay.
Because I, forget love. How about safety? Yeah, that was, I know Trump don't like no green card, so I decided to get a white card. He's an old Oregon cracker, turned me into a graham cracker.
Okay.
But he passed away of a heart attack in 2019. And we may not believe this, but I still believe in the security of marriage.
Yeah.
Social Security really paid good. I cried all the way down to the office. How much this time? That's why I believe in short engagements, because I don't know how long you're going to last.
Right.
I don't hold a man's hand on a date. I hold his pulse.
Okay.
Make sure.
Just in case, But this journey and raising 5 kids, how many minutes do I have left? Because I could talk.
I mean, we got about 15 minutes.
Oh, 15. Oh, I got that. I got that loaded for you. Okay, I got that. Right. Okay. Are they seeing the side of my face or my front face? I got to turn around to the camera.
The side and the front, they can see.
They can see me?
Yeah.
Hi. Okay. All right, I'm back. Okay. Okay. So I'm also writing another book called a children's book, but parenting. It's called You Can't Hit, You Gotta Outwit.
Okay.
Because I had 5 stair-step teenagers. I had my kids very close in age. They, from 73 to 81, I had 5 kids. And with me being disabled, that's when I learned that kids look at everything you do. They study mama. They study dad. You have to be on. They watch you.
Yes.
Everything you do. That's why you got to be careful what you do in front of your kids. Because they gonna mock you. They gonna do it. So I learned this early. Even when I would go up a flight of stairs, and I would put my good leg up one step, hold on to the rail, and pull up my bad leg. My kids would be right behind me with 2 good legs doing the same thing.
Okay.
Holding on to the rail, pulling up one leg, and helping and pulling up the other leg. And they didn't have to do that, but they walking like mama walk.
Right.
I had to get normal people to walk up and down the stair and show them how to walk.
Right.
They can use both your legs, baby.
Right.
And my kids were very athletic, and it started off when they were young. My 4th child, all my kids walked. By 8 months old, they was walking, not walking. So my 4th child, which was a girl, I was carrying her into the store, trying to be a normal mom, and I lost my balance and I fell and scraped her head, and I hurt my knee. I was upset. And so it was a couple weeks later, my baby was on the couch, and I went to pick her up, and she scooted off the couch. She said, "No, I'm walking over there. You gonna kill me, mama. Let me help you over there." So now I know why the kids were around her crib. They were saying, "Get up and walk. Mom gonna try to carry you. Save your life. No crawl. Walk. Run. Mama's coming to carry you." So, when I was in the house, I would take bed sheets and wrap it around me like the African women. I saw it on National Geographic just come on TV. And I saw the African ladies had the fabric. They wrapped the babies right there. So I took my bed sheets and I wrapped around my babies so I could walk around the house, and because they didn't have those nice cute carriers you young moms got now, they didn't have all that stuff. So I took the bed sheets and made me a carrier, and I can come in, stand in the kitchen and cook and wash dishes and have a baby with me, because I when I walked, I always had to hold on to something.
Yes,
with one hand.
So you couldn't hold your hands.
So I had to carry the baby like a sack of flour.
Yes,
and they were used to it, so they were used to getting jerked back and forth. While I would carry my girlfriend's baby, they cried, "Oh, she's gonna drop me!" You know, but they weren't used to that. Yes, my kids were used to being done around like that. But I noticed that kids do watch everything you do. Be quiet.
Tell them be quiet.
Yeah. They talking. I can hear the bass.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, but the microphone won't pick it up.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm hearing voices and I'm scared because it wasn't coming out of my own head. You know, like another voice. Oh my God, there's a new bitch in here. You know, I thought that was first. Okay,
that's okay.
Outside studio. Okay, I'm back. Okay. So I moved from Chicago in 1987. Because after my husband left, I started making dolls, and I decided I want to take my kids out the hood, and put them in the woods.
Okay.
Chicago's too bad. It's not a place to raise kids, and I saw where I was gonna have to live if I stayed in Chicago. I was not going to have a good place to live if I couldn't keep this building. So I took a trip. I took my doll money, babysitting money, my hustle side money, and I saved it. And I got some coupons from Chef Boyardee, kids ride free on the Greyhound bus. Okay. And I bought tickets and took a trip. I sent the 3 older children to camp. I always sent my kids away. I kept them busy all year round. I signed them up for camps in January. I'd be knocking on the United Way door, Salvation Army door. Y'all got the camp this summer? Yes, we haven't started a list yet. Well, let's start that list. And my kids going to be at the top. You know, I will make sure that I got an agenda for you when school is out. You're not sitting around here looking at me.
Yes.
Not for 5 minutes. I'm keeping you busy.
Yes.
You know. My neighbors always say, "Well, they doing corner. You know, she got 5 kids. You never see them out." Nope, they busy. You know, because busy kids don't have time to do bad stuff. We keep them busy. Yes. And so I always had my kids functioning in the summer. That was how I did it. But I joined Toastmasters, and that's how I became a public speaker. Okay. And I had never heard of Toastmasters, but I was invited to a Toastmasters meeting. I thought I was going to learn how to sell toasters, you know, but I found there was a public. Have you heard of Toastmasters? A public speaking organization. So I excelled in that, and I won the humorous speech contest up to national levels. Okay. And in 2014, I was invited to be the keynote speaker for International Toastmasters in Taipei, Taiwan. Wow. Oh. But I took my kids to Toastmaster meetings, and they got to see their mom do Toastmasters and do public speaking. And one of my sons started junior Toastmasters at his middle school in Tacoma, Washington. Okay. And so talking was a gift. All my kids, we all are good orators. Okay. And so I wanted them to see what their mother was doing. And before I got a job, I volunteered my time at the welfare office to come in and be a receptionist in DVR, Division of Vocational Rehab. And I would sit at the front desk. I wanted my kids to see me get up every day and go and be responsible. They watch you, everything you do, everything you do. And so I also treated my kids, with having a group like that, I wanted each one of them to feel special. So I would take each one by one on a day trip. And I would tell them how I got a secret to tell you. You know what I'm going to say, right?
You're my favorite.
You my favorite. It still works. Yeah. I don't know if it works for y'all kids. Y'all got internet now, but still, back in that day, our kids, they were like kind of really naive. We could work them any kind of way now.
Well, they don't keep seeing mine, but be like,
Mom said favorite. I'm her favorite.
I'm Mom's favorite. I think my daughter knows this. Well, no, let me tell you. My daughter is a daddy's girl. She's a daddy's girl.
Can't live and breathe without him.
Oh my goodness. G.
That the oldest one?
No, that's the youngest one.
Oh yeah, with the baby girl.
She's 10. She's 10, and she be checking for daddy. When G pull up to the house, she know it.
He
He sit in the car, she watching. Anything he do in the car, she can come tell me what he just did in the car. He put something in his glove compartment. He did this. He's sitting in the car. She'll go try to meet him in the car, and I try to tell her, when we pull up to the house and we sit in the car, it's because we need a moment. We need a moment.
Decompress.
Yeah, we've been at work all day. We've been doing this, that, and the third. We know as soon as we walk in the house, there's more work to do.
Absolutely.
Let me sit in the car. Let us sit in the car. Let me sit in the car. Let Dad sit in the car. We'll come in as soon as we done.
But
give us that moment.
Yes.
She meet you at the door.
Pull up,
She be at the window.
Outside already.
I wind up having a moving. I moved to Tacoma. I saved $5,000. I sent it to my aunt-in-law, my first husband's family.
Okay.
They said, come to Washington. So I sent $5,000 up here, and I said, find me a house, because I don't want to come to nobody's house with 5 kids.
Right.
So I did. I got the house, and it needed painting. And so me and my kids painted the house. So this white family down the street went to church and said, this lady with polio painted her house, her and her little 5 kids. Well, there's another family there said, well, our father just died and left us a 7-bedroom house. We're all too old to live in that house. Wow. You think she would like our house?
Oh.
You don't know who watching you.
Right.
You don't know who watching you. But you do. Who knew that they're going to make a testimony for me at church and get me a 7-bedroom house?
Wow. That's
a 7-bedroom house and charge me $250 a month.
Wow.
That was it. Okay? So that's why we have to be more mindful of how we act.
Yeah.
Especially around our kids, but other adults. You just don't know. So when my kids was coming up at school, I was always in their PTA and stuff, and I was always where they didn't want me to be, like come to school and embarrass them. My daughter, my oldest daughter, who's 51 years old now. I can't believe I have a 51-year-old daughter. It seemed like it was just yesterday we was talking about Santa Claus. Now we're talking about menopause.
Okay.
Then. So I just, she's asking me, Mama, I just be sweating and hot flat. I don't know anything about that. I got rid of the baby crib. I just kept the playpen. I don't know about that. But she was my oldest, and so everything. The prototype is always your oldest child. And so that's okay. So is your oldest 14?
My oldest is 22.
Okay, and then the next one's 14.
No, the next one's 21. Then 15. Then 14. Then 13. Then 10.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I just got 16 and 14.
16 and 14. Okay, I got grandkids older than all y'all kids. My oldest granddaughter is 28 years old. I'm a great grandma now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm into the third power.
Okay.
Grandkids, second power, third power. You know your algebra. Okay, I want a third power. What do you call it? B3. B to the third power is bitch to the third power. Okay. Okay.
Well, I want to know when your book is coming out.
Well, the book is being written now, and so hopefully in the next 3 or 4 months,
Okay.
And I can come back on your show if I pay you. Okay.
Don't have to pay.
And little things like that. My girls.
We would love to have you on. I love when we could just have a conversation and be,
and then don't feel like
just talking. We listening.
Okay.
We listening.
So I do got a couple more things I want to tell you about some parenting skills. I think might be tips for parents listening out here.
Okay.
That won't get you put in jail, but it's out of my, you can't hit, you got to outwit.
Yes.
Because when I went to be do the keynote speaking in Taipei, Taiwan, and I was working for the Washington State Lottery, and so I, being the funny lady at work, Sinbad came to town to do a show, and he was doing a contest. So my supervisor said, "You taking your crazy ass down there and getting this contest."
Okay.
So I got in the contest and I won.
Okay.
And then Sinbad wanted to see me backstage, and we talked, and he said, "You could be a comedian. You can be a comedian." Didn't hear many cans in my life, but he said, "You can be. You are very funny." He said, "You got to work hard, but you can do it." So I followed that dream, and I have been working on being a stand-up comedian since 1989. And then I got to open for Jamie Foxx in Seattle, and he told me the same thing. And then he came to my house and said, "Debbie, we going to L.A. Why don't you come with us? You need to come with us." And I was like, "Really?" He said, "Debbie, you could make it." So, but my kids were young. So I just got married to my second victim. I mean, husband. And I went for a couple of weeks, but ain't who you know. You know, it's all the other stuff, and you got to wait around to get on stage. And I was with Chris Rock and everybody, you know, all in the mix. But then my spirit was just moved to come back home and raise my children.
Yeah.
That was, I wasn't ready to sell my soul out for some money and fame. And I had 5 kids at home. So I came back home and did comedy on a more local level.
Yeah.
And then so I also I did a Funniest Moms in America contest, and I became a finalist in that competition. I went down to LA for that. I didn't win, but the producers saw my talent. So they called other producers and movie directors that was up in Washington State and find out what kind of movies they was auditioning for, and they called me to audition. So I went to audition, and my third husband at this time told me that, you know, you got a call here from LA to say that they're doing auditions at Space Needle for this movie called The Pony Man. So he said, let's go. I said, Ray, they looking for a middle-aged black woman. They're not looking for a woman in a scooter with braces. He said, well, let's just go for the hell of it. So I went, and all these other black women were there. They were reading their, we all had, you know, to read our part, and study in the hallway. And I was so intimidated because all of them could do something I couldn't do.
Yeah.
Like walk. You know, so I went in for my audition, and they said, okay, we'll call you. I got a second call back. And I got to be with the main character in the play, in the movie. And they said, okay, Debbie, we will call you, let you know we definitely want you in our movie. They called me, and I wound up landing the leading female role opposite Michael, who was leading male.
And what's the name of the movie?
The Pony Man.
The
It's
Pony
on
Man.
Prime Video right
I'm gonna
now.
watch it.
Okay,
It's got 5 stars. Let me brag. Okay. But I wound up doing a movie.
Yeah.
And who would ever think this little black woman
Yeah.
from the hood
Yeah. From
would
Chicago.
be going to be an international keynote speaker in Taipei, Taiwan for 5,000 Taiwanese, and then be in a movie and then be on stage with Sinbad and Jamie Foxx coming to my house. Who would ever think that?
Yeah.
Right.
And she's fat, she's black, and she has polio.
Yeah.
And she still did in spite of. Because life is about attitude. Life is about, it's not about this body. This body will change on your ass. I don't care how perfect it look. One day it will change. You got to invest in something inside, not just the outside. I'm not saying don't use your Maybelline. I'm just saying you got to work on the inside just as much, if not more.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
That's what makes a full life.
Yeah.
Because life could be up and down. And you got to be ready for the bounce. If you don't learn to bend, you will break.
Yes.
And the cancer will kill you.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So when I was having I didn't tell you this, but when I was delivering my last son, my second son, third child, the doctor asked me and my husband, I call my husband now, congratulations, it's another boy. Are you Jewish? And I'm like, doctor, we black, African American. Why would you think we were Jewish? He said, the reason why I thought you were Jewish because your little boy is born with a little cap on his head. That's that damn diaphragm. I knew I had on. Y'all know what diaphragm is? I know y'all got pills, patches, gum.
Yes.
Y'all even see, y'all get one shot, don't even get pregnant back now. Back in my day, one shot, you got pregnant. So I don't know, it's way different now. But I think they should make put these abortion laws all over. They're sending people to the moon. They're trying to go to Mars. Why can't they make a little machine like a sperm qualifier alarm system? So when the sperm, before it get to your eggs, it will analyze the quality of sperm and let you know. If it's bad sperm, it go, warning, this is asshole sperm, no job having sperm, jerk, abusive sperm, do not engage, eggs hide, play dead. Something to help us. You don't want us to have abortion, help us cipher out the bad sperms, okay?
Man.
Okay? It's like millions of them damn sperms. My eggs were like, oh my God, it's like a million guys everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
All right? The sperm qualifier alarm system, help us out. Okay, but anyway,
we need to make that.
Yeah, make that so you don't have to have abortions. So make us qualifying criteria or something.
Yeah.
Sperm just running around up in there, million hiding. Shoot, that's what I say.
Okay, when is that other book coming out?
Right after this book.
Okay, so they're both in the process.
They're both in the process now. The one Can't Hit, Outwit, because some things I did with my boys. Now, the son that was born with the diaphragm on his head, and they thought we were Jewish. Well, he grew up, and he is a lawyer. So we are Jewish. Didn't even know it. Yeah, he has 2 law firms, one in Seattle and one in Tacoma, Washington. James Curtis, LLC. If you don't believe me, look it up. Okay. And so it showed me that this Black woman with a high school diploma graduated a lawyer.
Yeah.
My oldest daughter is a college professor, and now she teaches at. She moved down here to be closer to me, and she's teaching at Park Rose Middle School, humanities.
Okay.
She said she get paid better in the teaching middle school than she did at college. Okay. So she's she with her double master's, working on her doctorate. That's my oldest daughter.
Yeah.
I have a son that's a lawyer, college professor. Then I have my youngest son is assistant vice president of Bank of America's here in Portland.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have another son who's a supervisor in charge of in the Seattle transit system for King County.
Okay.
And I also have a daughter who is a stay-at-home mom right now, but she is a MA trained nurse because she has 3 disabled kids, so she's home with them. But all my kids are doing wonderful.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of grandkids. But the thing that I did for my kids to make them think about decisions they make, I see you're always going to be in the why of the road. Should I or should I not? And all I ask you to do is ask yourself, if I go down this road, can I deal with all the consequences? If I go this other way, can I deal with those consequences? And any part of you in the back of your mind tell you no, listen to that no. I made a decision to have unprotected sex 52 years ago, and she is still walking around here. You have to ask yourself, can I live with this decision maybe for the rest of my life? So my son that's a lawyer, why he got motivated to be a lawyer, because he was in 7th grade acting up, came home with a bad report card. I said, so look like to me you want to be a street sweeper when you grow up. No, I don't want. Your grades say I want to be a street sweeper. So I bought a new push broom from Home Depot, and you will sweep this block every day after school for 30 days to practice your new career that you have picked according to your grades. And he no whooping, nothing could get the tears out of a child sweeping down the street. And my boys act up, I do not send them to their room. Why? They never send me to my room when they get mad at me. I'm sending them to Miss Johnson's house to rake her leaves. I'm going to send them over to another neighbor's house to paint a fence. I get a list of what you need done, because my kids, when they act up, they come into your house. They never went. I kept them working. They were scared to. My neighbors love me. How your kids acting? I got some yard work in the back. They were always checking on me.
Yeah.
And another thing I did too, because I wanted my kids to be better financially with their decisions on how to take care of their finances. So everything went on the refrigerator. My paychecks, the bills, everything went to the information center on the refrigerator. So one day my son, he was 17 at the time, came to me, Ma, he's like 6'4", wears a size 17 shoe. Ma, Foot Locker got Jordans on sale for $100. Can I get some? I said, well, let's go ask the refrigerator. So I said, I'm down with a pencil and paper. I said, now that's my check stub. Write down net pay down there. Write that down at the top. And that loan ticker tape from Costco, write that down. Subtract that. Okay, coupons and mortgage. Write that down. Now subtract all that. Now, do you see a gym shoe in there? Well, no, you don't even have enough for all this. I said, so I want you to have the gym shoe. The refrigerator said no. I'm on your side.
I love it.
Man.
The refrigerator said no.
Make them do some work.
You know, and then name calling. I don't know about your kids having name calling problems, but that can shatter a child's self-esteem. And if your kid's self-esteem can't be protected in their home, this is why kids leave and don't want to be home, because they don't feel safe and guarded. So I started a new punishment. You call somebody out of their God-given name, you have to write a biography page of positive attributes of that sibling to repair that damage you did to their self-esteem. And if you're too young to write, you can talk good words.
We do something. G started having them, every time they say something negative about each other, they got to say 3 positive things.
That's right.
And sometimes watching them try to say something positive, it's like so much work for them to work. You know, it's like, why is it so hard for you to come up with something positive to say? But you be so quick to say something so negative
because
to your
of
sibling.
society, the outside world changed it. All the bullies at the school train them
Well,
how
they
to be
say
like that.
they say, you know, well, I can take it. It's like they're trying to teach each other how to take it because it comes from outside all the time.
Yeah, it comes from outside, but
but
after
I'm
a
like,
while,
still,
when you get old like me, guess what? I don't even need nobody. If I get mad at myself, I don't even need nobody to call me bad names. Guess what? I can call my own self those names. Oh, you fat pig. Oh, you dumbass. You know, all the things I got called as a kid. After a while, it ingrains in your subconscious, and you can call your own self those names.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to help these kids be empowered to know that this is not a way you treat people who you love.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
I think that's a good way to
to end this episode.
Yeah.
A little over time. So we always end the episode giving like a gem, and we think about something we shared or heard, something that was talked about during the episode, and what is something that give the audience to kind of take away.
Kind of do that in 60 seconds or less.
We're gonna hurry up. Do you have any?
I don't know. I think probably it would be learning how to get out of your kids' way, to help them to be able to take care of themselves better in the long run in life or whatever. Because, you know, as moms, a lot of us do have a tendency to want to, we talked about this before, want to protect them from different harms and things like that. But obviously when you support your children, in, you know, the message of what they can do or whatever, or, you know, stay out their way and let them figure out how to do it, it benefits them. I'll just say that, you stay out your kids' way. I mean, be in their business and in their face and in their life, but also stay out their way.
I feel like letting them make the decisions. You know, you learn from all the lessons, right? No matter if it's good or bad. The actions that you choose to do, you're going to learn something from it. Either you're going to learn to never do it again, or you're going to learn a better way to do it so you can have different results next time. And, you know, as my 14-year-old turns 15, we got a few years left with her. Just really explaining to her the consequences to her decisions that she makes. You know, she gonna make the decision ultimately. She's got to live her life. And I don't have to agree with all of them, but just letting her know that, you know, the choice is hers. You can have a good life. You can have a hard life. You know, whichever one you choose, that's what you're going to live. But, you know, I'm just going to help you see the options in either one and hopefully detour her from making those not so great decisions because, you know, I know where she came from and I know that she can be better than that. She doesn't have to go, you know, live life the way her birth mom lives life.
Right.
Yeah. Let your kids live.
Share?
Well, I would say find out what she likes the most, what she likes to do, and get in it with her. My boys love wrestling. I used to get a wrestling magazine and read about it so I could talk to them about wrestling. Mom, how you know about Hulk Hogan? Well, I read this article, and why don't you read the article? And also taught comprehension. Skateboarding, I read skateboard magazine, whatever they like, collecting rocks. So I get all into whatever she like, get with her with it. And that way, I think they'll put she want to be around. She don't want to go nowhere. She want to be you doing what she likes to do, and show her more of the fun to do the things she like to do with her.
Yeah,
do more stuff like that with her.
Definitely. Yeah, thank you. All right. Well, that's it for this episode of Talk to Them. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me. And if you know any good psychiatrists, call into the show, and I'll see about seeing them.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us. See you next week. Actually, thank you for joining us on Talk to Them, where every story matters and every voice counts.
Every word in this
something
episode.
like that.
We go back and forth like, how do we end it? What do we say?
That's funny.
Every story counts. Every voice matters. It's all the same.
Every story counts. Every voice matters.
All right.
Or the other way around. Either way.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you.